السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي واجعل لي وزيرا من أهلي هارون أخي اشدد به أزري وأشرك في أمري كي نسبحك كثيرا ونذكرك كثيرا إنك كنت بنا بصيرا وصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين. Amen. Sorry for the delay. These technical things that I cannot manage. I try every time I forget or I mess up. Sorry for this. Okay, we have been studying the chapter Abasa, and this chapter, English translation of the name is He Frowned. He wasn't pleasant. He showed an unpleasant face to somebody, something. So a person, the previous verse said, let me go back. Yeah. So he frowned and turned away. And when the blind man approached him, we discussed what blind man may mean, may represent for us. And the third verse says, but how do you know? Perhaps he would be purified. It means we cannot know, we cannot be judgmental to people. If anybody approaches us, we have to share whatever we think it is good for the benefit of ourselves and for the benefit of the person who asks or questions or asks for anything. But we said as an extension, we ourselves also must be approachable. It means we will be approachable, and also we must prepare ourselves to be approachable to others as well, so the others can approach us. Not only we will be approachable, that they will approach us, but at the same time, we must be also approachable for other people's questioning or advices, not only to give advice to others. We discussed all this, and the last verse on the screen now, or maybe mindful and the reminder benefit him. We said we don't know, because reminder, anything which reminds the human beings what is right for them, what is good for them, but especially within the context of the Quran, takes or assumes if you like, responsibility, or assumes the mission of reminding people about their purpose of existence, meaning of existence, the result of their existence, what are the things that the human beings are expected to prepare themselves for, all these kind of concerns. We said we don't expect the Quran to teach us how to utilize from the word which is already established in front of us and waiting to be discovered by our investigations. So in the creation, it is accessible. We have to work on and find out. But there are some human questions that we cannot find the answers to these questions. So we have to expect these questions need to be answered. Human questions, we name them existential questions, the purpose of our life, the meaning of our life, the source of our life, the result of our life. And what does it mean? What does existing, for example, mean for us, etc.? These kind of questions, the universe is silent. The universe doesn't say, just demonstrates that I am a meaningful creature and I have many qualities manifested in my existence. And you have to investigate the source of these qualities. Universe just speaks us in it is the way it is created, the way it is nature speaks, the way how it is organized. It doesn't, the universe doesn't speak with human language, but human beings can understand how to communicate with the universe, because the meaning that the universe encompasses in its existence communicates with the qualities which is encompassed within the existence of human beings. So they mutually correspond to each other. They communicate with each other. For example, a beautiful scenery attracts human attention and human beings love it. A frightful creature or the things that human beings are feared, then we run away from them. We don't like them. We don't want them to happen. In both cases, we communicate with the universe, but not in a human language, and also not the expectations to my questions that I ask within my human capacity. The universe doesn't respond. But of course, we understand that the one who created me, if I understand that my creation is deliberately organized by a conscious being, so this conscious being must have given me all these qualities to ask these questions and be concerned with them and very much worried about my future, and very much I am concerned with the meaning of my existence in this world, especially through human consciousness. I understand that the one consciously established these qualities within my human capacity must answer, because universe doesn't answer. Universe says, okay, you are going to live here for a limited period of time, span of time, and then you will die. That's it. That's what I got the news from the universe. But universe also says, look, my creator is a one, not like me at all. He is the source of my existence, and he cannot be like me. Otherwise, he would be dependent in its existence as well, like my part of a part of the universe itself. So universe says, points to, speaks with his disposition, the way it is organized, that my creator is infinite. My creator cannot be likened to anything of any part of the universe. So my questions must be answered not by the universe, but by the creator of the universe, who is also my creator, who is also the creator of my human capacity, human questions. If a person doesn't believe in the creator, of course, human beings are free, whether it is acceptable or not, whether it can be reasonably confirmable or not, it is out of question now. Some people may prefer to say that we don't have any conscious creator. All right. How about your questions? Oh, yeah, I have these questions. And what are the answers to these questions? So these are just made up questions, fancy, human fancy, wishful thinking. Where did you get them? I don't know, it happened. like this. So they don't look for the answer because they don't get the answer from the nature, and they don't have any vision which goes beyond the limitations of the material, physical body of the universe, not the meaning of the universe. They don't look at the meaning of the universe. That is a human choice. Okay, people are free, but not for me. Thank you. I wouldn't go along with this idea because I find my existence so meaningful. How can I reduce my existence to a meaningless haphazard happenings because I see no meaninglessness in my being? Everything is perfectly arranged, physically and otherwise. It means human quality is wise. So the relationship between me and the universe is so perfectly adjusted that I cannot attribute it to accident because I am a human being. My relationship with the universe is perfectly adjusted. There are millions of other living creatures, and their relationship with the universe is perfectly adjusted. They can communicate with each other in their natural state of existence. So I cannot attribute these billions of billions, trillions, countless perfect adjustments to accident. And also, I cannot see in the order of the universe any accident at all. So the reminder I need from the reminder means the creator's guiding answers to my human questions. So if a person wants to benefit from it, it is the duty of anyone who is reading this text says, please make yourself available to these people. First, of course, you have to get answers, prepare the answers for yourself, and then present it to others. Be helpful. Whoever approaches you, don't be judgmental. Don't say, oh, this man doesn't have a good intention. I don't know. I cannot read the heart of the people. But what I know only what appears to be to me, physical appearance. If a person comes and tells me, what do you think the meaning of this word? I would tell him what I understand. And the reminder means the speech or the guidance, guiding speech of the creator. Let's put it in this way. For example, one of the examples of guiding speech of the creator is the Quran that we are studying. If someone else finds another satisfactory source, good for him. I'm not saying impossible, partially possible as far as my studies tell me. But if someone says, no, I find a better answer from another source, go ahead. I cannot say, no, you cannot find. But I am satisfied with this text that I'm studying. It seems to be, as far as my investigations tell me, inform me, that it has a pretty sure internal consistency. That is my result. Someone may not agree with me, welcome. But I am concerned with my own conclusion. So I will present what I understand from this studying, this guiding speech of the creator. But if someone wants to tell me something from the guiding speech of the creator, say, and trying to teach me something, trying to correct me, my mistake, my misunderstandings from the guiding speech of the creator, which is the Quran, practically speaking, I must be also approachable to those people who give or who are ready to give me some reminders. So both ways, I must be ready to give advice, if you like, or share my ideas with others, and I must be ready to receive from others also to share their ideas with me, so that human communication will be realized, will be possible. So we will help each other in order to improve our understanding. So apart from, as a further explanation of this last word, reminder, maybe mindful, and this person, anybody who approaches you may be mindful, and the reminder benefit him. So we studied this verse, excuse me, do not drive away those that call on their Lord morning and evening. It means they are seeking the pleasure of their creator, if you like, getting to know him, responding back to him. That is the very important word. As he creates, as he presents the word to us or to these people, they respond back. That's why they call on their Lord morning and evening, on every occasion, actually, seeking only to gain his favor. It means to be in good terms with him. You are in no way accountable for them, nor are they in any way accountable for you. It means not because of the accountability, but because of human responsibility. So I must deliver the message, or I must be open to receive any message which is delivered to me. But it doesn't bring any responsibility on me if someone doesn't accept it. It doesn't mean that I am going to force him to accept what I present to him. And also, another person shouldn't force me to accept what he offers to me. That's why this accountability remains on personal level. Everybody is accountable for himself, for herself. Now, and if you dismiss them, you shall yourself become a wrongdoer. It means the Quran reminds me, the guiding speech of the Creator reminds me, if anybody approaches me either to receive any reminder or to deliver the reminder to me, if I am not open to them in both ways, if I dismiss them, I will be a wrongdoer. It means I am doing something wrong to myself. I am depriving myself of any benefit that I may get. It means I am doing something against my own benefit. So the Quran said, watch out and be careful, be open in both ways. But there is a but, serious but. That's where we are now. Emma man istaghna. The following verse says, as for him who thinks himself self-sufficient. Now, it is your turn. I wrapped up what we have discussed last week and also prepared my mind to get into the new topic now. Now, I would ask you, and I would be open to receive your advice, your recommendations. What do we mean by self-sufficient? Please help me. Self-sufficient. What do you understand from self-sufficient? Also, Asifa. Well, I'm very happy to hear your hands up. First Asifa, then Afshan. Please go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum. So my understanding with self-sufficiency is mainly you would not need any outside help in terms of meaning that you are able to do, you think that you're able to do everything on your own. So it could go back to anything. It could be like from gaining energy you only hold yourself being able to do anything. So it would bring back to that point where I feel with self-sufficiency attitude, you have to really think, did you even bring yourself into existence? I think probably those are two different points. I don't want to confuse, but mainly self-sufficient to me, I feel like the person thinks that he's able to do everything on his own. He does not need any outside help, or no outside source is providing him anything.
When I summarize it, there is no outside source that this person feels in need of it. In any sense, in any case, especially you said, for example, bringing himself into existence. He doesn't need anybody else to bring himself, to bring him into existence. But Asifa and other friends as well, the people don't say that I created myself. They say I need nature to produce me. They avoid to use the word creation. They use it for practical daily purposes, but I mean, when it comes to very intellectual matter, they avoid to use creation. That is their choice, none of our business. Everybody is free to use whatever the language they prefer to use. They are most welcome. I mean, we don't mind. Now, I would like to make my comment on this. It is okay. Although I understand what you said, Asifa, that, for example, they don't need anyone else to bring himself into existence. I mean, I think you meant any external agent, external to the universe, any external agent to bring this person into existence purposefully, consciously, deliberately, and in a planned manner, knowingly. I think you meant this. If I'm wrong, please just say, no, I didn't mean this. But usually when people say, I don't need anyone to create me, it means they are rejecting the idea of the creator who gave existence to the universe consciously, deliberately, in a planned way. So, Afshan Haq, I would like to hear your voice.
I think when I read the first verse, I think it's a person that's not in touch with reality or doesn't. I think for most people, they don't ask the questions. They don't just a person on autopilot that's just living their life. And from what I see, they're not typically concerned about existence questions. So I will briefly say someone who is not in touch with reality or so far from reality, they don't even ask the right questions.
Thank you for any idea, any question, any idea is welcome. So now, but when anybody says something, it reminds me something. Of course, we will communicate and interact between ourselves in a friendly way. No one claims that I know better than you. We are here. Because of my age, I speak a lot. That's it. Sorry. Now, they are not concerned with reality, you said. But according to my readings, those people who don't believe in the creator, an agent, conscious, infinite agent, not like the universe at all, the creator of the universe, agent. They say those people who believe in God, the creator, they are not in contact with reality. They are just making up some metaphysical matters, superficial ideas, super simple, saying that there is a God who created the universe. Oh, look at the universe. The universe is perfectly working. I think we have to define the reality. Oh, it reminded me a huge subject which is dealt with in the Quran in depth. Quran says, as this speech of the creator of the universe, when we read the Quran, it means the creator of the universe says. By definition, we are not here to prove it or disprove it. By definition, let me see if what he says makes sense to me or not. Quran says God, the creator, has created the universe. Of course, the speaker is the Quran. He says, I created the universe with truth. It means with reality. Bil-haq in its own original language. With truth, with reality. It means universe itself is not reality, but it is created with or in reality. It means within reality. What it means in the language of the Quran, as it is peculiar concept of the Quran, al-haq, with truth, with reality. When you look at the universe, you see what the truth is. Universe witnesses the truth in its existence. It means the universe points to the true, real agent in its existence. It means behind its existence. It is a witness, witnessing to the reality, to the truthfulness of the existence of an absolute, infinite creator. That's what the Quran says. But people hijacked this vocabulary. They said nature is reality. And they say we are interested in reality. Nature is reality. Universe itself is reality. Of course, we have to question, we have to think about it. In its existence, it is real. It really exists, as I really exist. I am sure I exist. All right? So if I am sure I exist, whatever I communicate with must exist, because I am able to communicate with them. They cannot be an imaginary word, otherwise I wouldn't be able to communicate with them. So my abilities confirm that the universe really exists. But does the universe itself represents the reality, or does it witness to the reality of its creator? So that the universe is created within reality, within truth, which means it is created to witness the reality of its creator. So whatever universe witnesses to the reality of the or real existence of the source of existence of the universe and its qualities. It means the qualities manifested in the existence of the things parts or entirety of the universe does not come from itself. It comes from its creator. The simple example, if you see a work, let's say a carpenter made a beautiful piece of furniture. Okay, the piece of furniture has beauty, has art in it. Now, there are two ways of analyzing this case and using the vocabulary carefully. In the existence of the piece of furniture, there is art. It is real. But the concern that human minds human minds are concerned with, whether the art belongs to the piece of furniture itself, or it represents, it witnesses the piece of furniture, witnesses the reality of the quality of its artist. According to the Quranic teaching, using this example, the art we see in the piece of the furniture represents, witnesses to the reality of the quality of artistry of the artist, the artistry quality of the artist, if I am not confusing the language. Materialist people say, no, the art belongs to the piece of furniture itself. It is the truth. It is the reality. So let's come to this verse, the meaning of the verse that under discussion now. As for him who thinks himself self-sufficient, you can see the Arabic original on the same line on the left-hand side, Imma man istaghna. I am self-sufficient. It means universe is self-sufficient. Without example, the piece of art, with its quality of art, is self-sufficient. Doesn't need any artist, any carpenter. Now, how much or which one makes sense? The universe, do you think, has consciousness that would organize itself into a perfect harmony, harmoniously communicating with the rest of its, if you like, sister creatures in the universe, making a perfect order in its existence? Think about it. Or like a piece of furniture. Yes, there is manifestation of art in its existence. But the reality, the truth is, wood or piece of furniture, let's say wood, make it simple. Wood cannot be the source of the art, which is manifested in its existence. Which one? So I am sure our friend Afshan meant they are not concerned with, she said, they are not concerned with reality. And this person is called in the language of the Quran as a person who thinks self-sufficient. Thinks himself self-sufficient. I think Afshan meant this. Those people who feel that they are self-sufficient, it means the universe is self-sufficient. In our example, the piece of furniture is self-sufficient, for it is art, for the art manifested in its existence. Which one makes sense? So being self-sufficient at the existential level is very important. We have to think about it seriously. Can I be self-sufficient in my existence? It means, do I need any external agent to my existence, which will provide me with the qualities manifested in my existence? Or am I self-sufficient? Okay, I may be a madman, I don't know, but I think as far as I can, I never ever can claim that the qualities manifested in my existence, physical existence or human sight, it means, if you like, my soul, my feelings, my emotions, my human qualities, my reasoning, my intellect, my other powers, my emotional feelings, all sorts of qualities manifest in my existence. Yes, they represent and present to me something real. But does my existence, my being, self-sufficient? Is my being self-sufficient? It means, can it, my physical being, together with the universe, they are like me too, can my being be the source of existence of the qualities manifested in it? Because I cannot deny the qualities. This is real. But real in terms of what? In terms of its own self, or in terms of an agent conscious agent, who gave existence to my being with these qualities, like the artist or carpenter made the art in the piece of furniture. Which one makes sense? If one says, I am self-sufficient, it means I don't need any agent. All the qualities exist within me. I don't know how, but with Asifa's language, I am the source of existence of everything for myself, and I don't question my existence in terms of whether it is given by some external agent or conscious external agent, or it happened to be like this. The person doesn't feel that he needs an external agent in order to explain everything. So, as a consequence of this claim, he doesn't need to be reminded, to be taught, because he's self-sufficient. It means all the qualities within himself, doesn't need any external factor, external agent, so that this external agent will let him know how he made him or her, how or why he made him, help him to understand his reality of his own existence, so that he doesn't need anybody or anything to taught him, to give him, to provide him the answers to his human questions. He says, I know who I am, that is how I am, and I don't need any external factor to teach me anything. I can teach myself, I can learn the reality by myself. So don't talk to me as if, because don't try to convey the message, the reminder to me, because I don't need it. I'm self-sufficient. So the verse 5 says, as for him who thinks himself self-sufficient. That's what I understood from it. And we will continue, but I see in the chat box, I see, Asifa said yes, that's, so would you like to give another aspect to the word self-sufficient? Does it come to your mind, self-sufficient? Of course, we are not speaking in terms of physical self-sufficiency. It means I don't need to eat, I don't need to breathe, I don't need to drink, I don't need the gravity to stand up, and I don't need sleeping, for example, to get rest. I don't need any friend to speak to. No, these are not the concerns of the Quran. The concerns of the Quran are only related to one's existential questions. We have to understand. I talked a lot, maybe unnecessarily already, you knew it, that if I can get the answer, for example, how can I breathe? Or I can learn in the physical terms, I don't need creator, my creator, to speak to me, to teach me how to breathe, because he has already taught me in my own physical existence. The way he created me includes in it. And also the answer to some of my questions, for example, I need rest when I'm tired. Oh, of course, I'm tired at night. So when I'm tired, I need, automatically I sleep. I don't need my creator to teach me. It is already taught in my physical existence. It is already taught. I don't need an extra verbal explanation in the form of a speech. I don't need it. It is in my existence. So the speech of the creator, which is called the reminder, the specific language is used here, vocabulary used here, the reminder, reminding human beings. Of course, that is an interesting subject, the reminder. We will come to this. Further on, I am sparing why the Quran calls himself as the reminder. I am sparing it for further discussions. Actually, here, let me get there. Here. Here. كلا إنها تذكرة. It describes here. Verse 11. Verse 11 of the same chapter. It describes itself. This speech is a reminder. Right? So, sorry, what happened? Okay, let me get this one down. This speech is a reminder. No, it describes what happened. No. So, why the Quran, the speech of the Creator? By definition, we are talking. By definition, Quran is a speech of the Creator. It presents itself to us as the speech of the Creator. We are investigating whether this claim is really confirmable, acceptable or not. Questioning, does it really match my human reality, the way I am created? Does it contradict my nature or not? That's why we are studying the Quran. So it says, I am a reminder, tadhkirah. We will study there why the Quran describes itself as a reminder. What does it remind? So let's spare it there. Come back to our subject verse, who thinks himself as self-sufficient. Would you like to add anything to this? I will just summarize it. The last piece of our discussion, self-sufficiency is not in physical terms, but in terms of human questions. It means existential questions. Self-sufficiency. I don't need any external agent to teach me. Of course, for example, when I am hungry, this person says, I need food. It doesn't mean that, oh, you are self-sufficient, why do you eat food? No, no, no. But also, if I have a question, I can get the answer from my peers. I don't need the creator to guide me, to give me any answer, because there is no such thing anyways. We human race, can be sufficient within ourselves. We don't need an external creator, the external creator who will teach us. That human beings can find out with their own power of reasoning. Oh, but we will question power of reasoning, asks questions which doesn't have answer in the physical world. For example, can the physical world happen by itself, come into existence by itself? Physical world, I said, can you come into existence by itself? It says here, I exist. Study me and come to the conclusion. Investigate how I am coming into existence. If it is a living being, how I am growing, dying, or behaving. All these qualities in my existence, study and find out the answer. And if you say, I cannot come into existence by myself, together with the universe, all entirety of the universe needs a creator, and I have to present my questions to the creator, my existential questions to the creator. If I can prove that the things can manage their existence by themselves within the interaction, within themselves, it means the pieces of the universe interact with each other and decide about the order of the universe, perfectly arrange the universe as it is now, then we are sufficient creatures, we are sufficient beings. We don't need any creator or anybody else apart from the universe who will guide us or remind us what the truth is. We have to question, we have to be open-minded, say which one, and question, ask, which one makes sense for me? So if I can explain my own existence within my own self or within the context of the universe, then I don't need reminder. I am self-sufficient. But if I cannot explain it in a way that satisfies me as a human being as I am, then I will say, whoever the source of my existence is, he must remind me what the truth is. Of course, we are reserving the word reminder for further discussion. Why reminder? That is further discussion. So would you like to add anything, please? Go ahead. Or question, or it doesn't make sense to you what I have been talking here and what our friend has also said. Any question, any rejection, any comment? No? Okay. If you have any time, you can raise your hand or just write in the chat box. I mean, you are free to do anything, really. It's a free conversation. We are just discussing, trying to understand what the text says. So, to him you give attention. Now, we have to be careful. Here, of course, there is a reminder. Look, if somebody is self-sufficient, it means doesn't come to you to ask questions, doesn't really communicate with you in order to understand something which bothers him, but just is indifferent to you or attacking you, saying that, look, you are talking about something strange. For example, there is a creator, there is a life after death, the universe cannot sustain itself, and please be careful, watch out for your behavior among yourself, and try to help each other. Don't be negligent of your human peers, human friends, or other beings, creatures. Don't abuse them, don't spoil them, don't harm them. Why? I mean, I am here to benefit from the universe. Don't do this kind of discussions or discourse. Don't present this kind of discourse to the people. And we don't need you. We don't need your guidance. We don't need your advice. And we shouldn't pay attention to these people because they don't really need it. So if you give attention to these people, then you would be doing something wrong, wasting your time. What are we going to do? Because why are we not really concerned with those people who are feeling that themselves as self-sufficient? Before moving to verse 7, I would like to see what is in chat box. There is a hand up. Oh, why I didn't notice that? Let me see the hand, please. Whoever he is, go ahead. Who or she?
It was me, Asifa.
Okay.
Can you hear me? I just want to make sure. I just wanted to make sure that I got this clear. When you so when we say self-sufficient, it could also be I would put it between a positive and negative way. So it can also be positive as long as the person is acknowledging his source of existence. That can be a positive self-sufficient versus the self-sufficient. The negative one would be more the person who is in denial, doesn't question anything, doesn't even question his own existence. I just wanted to make sure I have it, I mean, somewhat I have it clear, but not quite clear. So just wanted to make sure if you can help me clear that out. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Now, there was, I experienced, I don't know the others also, some sort of background noise and microphone echoing or something. But as far as I understood, if someone accepts, if I'm wrong, please let me know. If someone accepts that he has a source of existence, or Asifa says, sorry about that. I mean, there's nothing to be sorry about. That is the reality of your life. So we are friends. It's quite normal. We'll try to be, of course, more efficient as we can. Understand this. But you have a family life, of course. I respect that. I hope our friends all respect that. So if someone accepts his or her source of existence, then he may feel self-sufficient. No, it doesn't mean here who thinks himself self-sufficient, it means he doesn't need any guidance from the Creator, because he doesn't believe in the Creator. Even he believes in the Creator, he thinks Creator, he doesn't need the teachings from the Creator. I can find the truth by myself. I can answer the questions that I ask by myself. It means human beings as a race can answer their existential questions. That is what the Quran says, self-sufficient. If a person accepts the source of existence, he cannot claim to be, by definition, self-sufficient, but he is happy with the Creator and his guidance. He doesn't need anybody's advice but the advice of his Creator. In this sense, he seems to be, he feels self-sufficient as far as his connection with the Creator is concerned. He doesn't need any other creature to answer his questions, his existential questions. For example, let me put it in a very simple and physical example. For example, a person who doesn't believe in the Creator, he says, I am hungry. It's a very simple example. And this food as my equal being, a piece of the universe, and I am a piece of the universe, and we happen to be accidentally like this, as we are, naturally they call it, by itself, it means natural means they by itself happen to be like this. So I need food and I benefit from the food. I don't need anything else because I need food and it is here within the universe. A person who accepts the source of existence, it means I cannot claim that I happen to be by myself or the universe happen to be by itself, but it has a Creator. He feels hungry as well. He eats food as well. He doesn't say, I don't need food, but because he believes in the Creator of the universe, he is sure that he has a Creator who created him or her, I'm speaking on my term, who created me with the need for food, and also he created the universe in such a way that there is food in it. So I need him to create everything. I don't need food as the agent of my satisfaction. Be careful. As the agent of my satisfaction, the agent of my satisfaction, of my hunger, is my Creator. The materialist says, the agent of my satisfaction for my hunger is food. There is a very radical, infinitely radical difference between these two. One of them feels self-sufficient because he attaches his existence to the Creator. It means, my God, my Creator provides the food. for me, provides what I need, provides the answer to my questions. The other one says the food provides the need for my hunger. And the answer to my questions is provided by my own reasoning, by myself. Where did you get this reasoning? Oh, it happened to be like this. All right. You can say, but I cannot buy it because the reasoning happened to be like this, asks questions which doesn't have the answer. I don't know. People are free to choose. I cannot choose it. No, it is a deliberate action. So if you like, we should be very careful if a person feels that God, the creator, is the agent for everything exists out there. I need only the creator. I don't need the creatures as the agent of satisfaction for my needs. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to eat food. No, no. The agent of satisfaction for my hunger is the creator of the food and the creator of my hunger. That is the fine difference. Here, the subject of the verse is self-sufficient means I don't need any creator. I myself is enough to answer my own questions. What is the purpose of your existence? To enjoy my life until I die. Why do you die? I don't know. Nature happened to be like this. What is the purpose of your life? Is there anything that you want satisfaction beyond the limitations of this universe? Yes, I feel, but that is just indoctrination of the environment. Interpretation, okay. Does it make sense? You have to think. You have to think. Human mind produced some questions which the mind itself cannot answer. And it happened to be accidentally like this. I cannot buy it, frankly. I declare here, I don't think so. It is impossible. It doesn't make sense to my own reasoning. So I cannot really confirm this idea. So self-sufficiency depends on one's attitude. Of course, accepting the source of existence, it means creator, that I have a creator. Oh, of course, everything is provided by him. So I don't worship the objects of this world as the source of satisfaction. Worship means what? Source of satisfaction of my needs. Declaring, acknowledging as to be the source of satisfaction of my need means my worship goes to that object. But declaring that nothing of this universe can be the source of satisfaction of my needs, but they are prepared by a conscious creator, and source of satisfaction of my needs is the will of this conscious creator. It means I am worshiping the creator of the universe. The first example, worshiping the universe itself, or worshiping himself, herself, because he is self-sufficient within himself. He is the source of answer to his own questions. He is the source of satisfaction for his own needs. Now, self-worshiping or creator worshiping, God worshiping, how different they are? Infinitely different, diametrically contradictory. ideas. Of course, we are in between. Now, the Quran always talks in terms of extremes so that human beings will find their direction. Shall I accept the Creator? So investigate the evidence for his existence, his reality? Or shall I ignore this idea and try to find the answer within the nature, within the universe itself, declaring your self-sufficiency as far as the Creator is concerned? I don't need them. Two extremes. One is called the believer, the other one is called the denier. Denying what the universe says and says, no, no, universe, you made yourself. Come back to our example. No, the wood, you are the source of art within yourself. Yes, there is no artist, there is no carpenter who made you in an artistic way, in an artful way. Depends on human mind, human attitude. Human beings are given free will. They can choose whatever the way they choose. They are free to choose. So if we give attention to a person who says, I'm self-sufficient, it means I don't need to be taught by a creator, just by myself, and I don't want to worship a creator. I am the worshiper of the universe. It means I respect the universe as the source of, I see the universe, I acknowledge the universe as the source of my existence, as the source of its own existence. Now, that is, this person needs not to be given attention. That's what I understand. To him, you give attention. In Arabic, فَأَنْتَ لَهُ تَصَدَّى. So you pay attention to it. وَمَا عَلَيْكَ إِلَّا يَزَّكَّى. Although you are not accountable for his failure to attain to purity, because he has already decided for himself that he doesn't need guidance. He doesn't need anybody else to teach him something. So that is his decision. He is responsible for his own decision. So it is not your accountability, your responsibility for his failure to attain to purity. It means to attain the acknowledging or becoming aware of the reality of the truth. Let me see the chat box. It is very clear to me now. Thank you, Asfa says. Come on, your ideas. I need your ideas. Appreciation, forget about it. But your ideas. I need your help. Okay? We are not responsible for a person who is not open, who is not approachable to me. It means if I want to tell him something, he doesn't listen, what shall I do? So what the Quran says here, you are not responsible for this person. So you, Dada, you find someone who needs. We will come there now. Okay. وَمَا مَنْ جَاءَكَ يَسْعَى وَهُوَ يَخْشَى فَأَنْتَ عَنْهُ تَلَهَّى. Beautiful. But as for him who came to you, striving earnestly, okay. All right, I thought something to do with the class date. It is not. Okay. But as for him who came to you striving earnestly, it means, please, I have questions, I have concerns, I need, of course, existential needs. Help me. You are saying something which is satisfactory for me, so please give me the advice. And in the context of this teaching, you are busy with the one who feels self-satisfaction, self-satisfied, but you are frowning, it means not very happy, with the one who came to you striving earnestly. Please tell me if you have any new answer to our questions. Because we have to remember, these are the very, very early year, second and a half year of the mission of the prophet. So in our life, I mean, it's early or late, doesn't matter. These are the universal principles for us. Anytime, if anybody comes to us, striving earnestly, saying, if you know any truth, please share it with me, I would be open. But if someone doesn't come to me and ask me, I will say, I'm not accountable for you. You have already decided for yourself that you don't need it. Okay, that's for you. You are accountable for yourself. I am not accountable for your decision. That is what we have decided. So we are advised, okay, don't spend time for those people who don't approach us, but we have to be concerned with a person who approaches us. In the example that we studied earlier on, a blind man. We discussed what does blind man mean or may mean, what blind man may mean. We talked about it a lot. So a person says, I don't see the reality. I don't see the truth. I don't know, how can I find it? Where can I find it? But you seem to be bringing some interesting information, news, answers to my questions. Please give me. Accepting that I am blind, it means I cannot produce my own answers. I cannot produce my own answers. I am blind means I cannot see the answer to my questions. So this person comes to you in a humble way. And also, and verse 9 says, وَهُوَ يَخْشَى, being apprehensive. It means, what yakhsha literally means is afraid of, is frightened, afraid of something. Of course, we understand yakhsha means being apprehensive. Oh, they are the person who is in awe of the content of the news, so that he is very apprehensive not to make any mistake. Oh, no, I don't want to make any mistake. I don't want to cheat myself as if I know everything, I know the truth, I know the reality. No, no, no. I am afraid of making a mistake. So I am afraid of turning my back to the reality of my existence. Now, we should pay attention to this person Now, within the context of this parable or story, whatever you name it, فأنت عنه تلهى. Him you disregard. It means you disregard him, this apprehensive person, and coming to you, striving earnestly. Oh, it is very, very bad, because if you go back to the previous verse here, oh, no, yeah, yeah. This verse we studied here, it says, you are, so do not drive away those that call on their Lord morning and evening. It means they want to acknowledge who their owner is, who their Lord is, seeking only to gain his favor. It means not to gain favor of the people, not to gain any physical benefit, etc. Just to get to know the Creator in the best way possible. Nor are they in any way, sorry, you are in no way accountable for them, nor are they in any way accountable for you. If you dismiss them, you shall yourself become a wrongdoer. So if we dismiss now, if we dismiss a person who is striving earnestly and very apprehensive about his reality, and if we disregard them, we will be a wrongdoer. We will be wrongdoers. It means we will wrong ourselves. We will harm ourselves. We will damage ourselves. So I think it is a beautiful advice for us in practical terms. Now we have to be conscious of the limits of our responsibility and the directions of our relationship with the other people, and which one we should be open to communicate with, which one we should just leave them alone if they don't approach us, if they don't ask us anything. Or, of course, the most important part is for ourselves. If somebody wants to tell us what's wrong in our understanding, in our behavior, we have to be apprehensive. We have to strive. We have to strive earnestly to receive the message. Now, we shouldn't turn our back saying that, look, I know better than you do. Then we will be losers for ourselves. We will be depriving ourselves from learning the truth. Of course, these verses work in both ways, from us to other human beings, or from other human beings to us. We have to be ready to strive earnestly, and we have to be very conscious of our responsibility, and we have to receive, if there is any truth, there's any source which delivers us the truth, or if anyone wants to receive the truth from us. But I want to ask read Efshan's comment and then leave the mic to Asam. It seems that if a person doesn't have the question, there is no need for an answer. Of course, if doesn't, that's very true. I agree, totally, I agree. If someone doesn't feel hungry, if you give him food, what do you think he is going to do with the food? Throw it away. He doesn't feel hungry. In reality, he may be hungry, but he doesn't, his consciousness doesn't tell him or let him know that he is hungry. He blocked this consciousness and he doesn't feel hungry like this. So without the question, if you present the answer, it reacts. Unfortunately, that is our reality. So awesome, please, before the time is up, I see that we are approaching, oh, okay.
That's a quick one, inshallah. So basically, wahuwa yaksha, being apprehensive. So that means somebody who is really concerned about the message, right? That's how it is.
Yeah, about the message means their need. Very concerned not to make a mistake. So let me learn, open to any message or any reminder. So I agree with you, yeah. If there is no question, answer is not the answer. Do you understand that? Answer means, by definition, any statement which responds back to the question. I mean, if there is no question, there would be no answer. If you say this is the answer, but as far as the person is concerned, if it doesn't have the question, it is not an answer. It is just, I mean, meaningless sentence. Because what makes a statement as an answer is the question. So if there's no question, answer is not the answer. It is just, how do you say, idle talk for him. So we have to be respectful to the people's questions. Those people who don't ask, okay, we cannot do anything to them. So Mahanureddin says, that's good. But questions often also come from cultivated consciousness. So if there is no question, it doesn't necessarily mean that there is no interest. It is not like I think physical, yeah, correction there. Physical hunger. I agree, cultivated. That's the very important. Now, it reminds me the practice of the Prophet himself after receiving all these messages, what he did. Instead of insisting on persons who doesn't need the answer, what he did, who feels self-sufficient. So what he did, he made a common declarations in the public area, not specifically speaking to a person. It means not personalizing it. So speaking in general, for example, if my friend Maha has a she doesn't, definitely has some interesting message to deliver to the people, spread around. If your neighbor doesn't want to listen to you, why not? To write a book, to prepare a video, or make a speech, or use your Twitter or whatever social media means and present it publicly. Because as you said, it is a very interesting point that you last minute presented to us, cultivated consciousness. Yeah, the people, if you like, are indoctrinated in many ways, not only in atheistic ideas, not only in religious ideas as well, or other ethical matters, or everything nowadays. Make it public. That's what I learned from the messenger who brought this message to us, as himself being addressed through these verses. He preferred to speak publicly, make it public announcements. That's what I understand. Otherwise, if a person consciously avoids the encountering and rejects it, definitely we have to keep away from that. But if a person doesn't really question, we can prepare the ground for him to pay attention to these kinds of subjects that are that need to be answered, but in a kind way. If that is what I understand from these verses. That's why we are reminded here, you cannot go and speak to the person who feels self-sufficient at the expense of the one who strives earnestly to you, and in an apprehensive way, in a very concerned way, forget about this person. These extreme cases are in terms of personal relationship, but in public, you can publicly announce your ideas. If the political environment allows you in this country, you can announce your ideas pretty freely. But unfortunately, in those countries who claim to be Muslims, the administrations are not as tolerant as here. So we experience here. We can share any idea here without insulting personal honor of individuals. Of course, we have to respect the honor of individuals. A person is given the opportunity to turn his back to the reality by the Creator. It is opportunity. You can use it, you may not use it. It is just open road. You are, when you come at the crossroad, you can take this way or this way. You are freely, as long as the road is open. In our way, we can use our free will, but we have to suffer the consequences of our choice in this world, as well as later on, the consequence of it, whatever it comes. So we have to be careful for ourselves. That's what I can share with you. That is an interesting comment. Mona said, what about close family members? Oh, it is important, Mona. Let me see the time. 10 minutes, of course, past the time. But this is a very practical question. Family members, Mona, I can only tell you, never try to give advice to your elderlies. It's very difficult. My practical example, because, and also I get some, we cannot study now, some senses, some, some notions from the teachings of the Quran. Just be kind to them, deal them with ma'ruf, which is in a good way, as known way to them, but never ever try to teach and correct your elderly. But your peers, your siblings, maybe younger ones, in a friendly way, reminding them that they must have the questions. As Maha Nuruddin pointed out, the minds are cultivated, minds are blocked, minds are conditioned about these kind of subjects that we are studying in various ways, not only in one way, in many ways. So unless you can make your peers, your siblings, your cousins, your same age or lower people, that they can become aware of the questions, then you can share the answer. Don't share the answer unless they are aware of the questions, that these questions are real questions. It's a very practical subject, Mona. Thank you for bringing up, and Maha, thank you also to bring up all these real life examples. If you like, we can talk about it more, but my general idea, as the Quran says, for your parents, just treat them in the ma'ruf way. Ma'ruf way is, as they see, this is the good way. If they don't ask, don't try to teach them. It is not the way our Creator has created human relationship, if you like. When the elderly people are created in such a way that they cannot get advice from their children, generations. One of the reasons, as I read, why the Prophet Muhammad's peace and blessings be upon him, the parents died before he received the messages from the Creator, because his parents would be very hard. That's how we are created. The parents cannot get the advice from their children. It's very difficult. We have to be Mona says, I would appreciate if you can go a bit deeper in the subject, but that's how it is. But we have to have hours and hours of studies of the Quranic verses about the relationship between parents and the children. So there, how the Quran presents the case to us, we understand that whatever they need, we must provide them within known conditions, not known to you, known to them. Ma'ruf is translated as a good way, but good according to whom? According to you, the good is to teach them what you think is right. According to him, the good is they need help. They need their food to be prepared, etc. So Quran says, treat them according to their good. I think it explains a lot. You can check the verses, deals with a matter from the Quran. Oh, I mean, I cannot give a definitely designated limits. In this case, you have to do it. In this case, no, there is no such answer. Depending on the conditions, how much your parents can get, how much your siblings can get. But definitely, as the Quran emphasizes again, kind approach is the must. Kind approach is the must. Kind approach. If they open, as much as they open, you have to approach. If they don't, please keep away. So the time is really 16 minutes. So please, inshallah, we should stop here. I should stop here. And next Saturday, next Monday, we will continue. If you like, we discuss this kind of subjects on Saturday and Sundays at 4 o'clock Eastern Time in America. So 4 o'clock, you can join us there too. We are trying to find out what is best for us before everything is too late, because the time is, life is a temporary life. Whatever we learn of the truth, that is our benefit. Thank you very much for your contributions and your presence and listening quietly or making comments. Of course, everybody is free to do whatever they want. So thank you. Inshallah, I'll see you next Saturday, Monday, or Saturday, Sunday evening discussions. Whatever you, however you like it. If you are interested in, we can send you the Zoom link for Saturday and Sunday afternoon, 4 p.m. Starts 4 p.m. and lasts hour and a half. Discussions again around this subject. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim wa akhiru da'wahum and alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen bi hurmati sirri surati al-Fatiha. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.